world. We have beautiful landscapes, but you can't photograph them. A lot of people were locked in during the lockdown. That's the life we spent.
Claims system is just a complete mess.
They're gonna consider they're quite strict, like when you're a asylum seeker, you feel like you don't have the power, and these days you feel like whoever has the power can do it.
Suddenly you realise they're not been in for a week, and you actually never see them again, and never hear from them again.
Human being needs the same dignity, whether it is one person or 1 million people. Without human being ceases to be a human being.
Months, years waiting for decisions, being called liars, being made destitute if they fail, all sorts of terrible things. Plus, of course, people's attitude towards them, which is one of the...
City of Sanctuary, I think the big issue is that most people don't know much about asylum seekers and haven't met them and not.
In Chile, which is a country in South America. Context, the country of Chile, my home country, in the 70s, decided in a democratically way to elect
and stuff. So they decided the best thing to do is just to travel through a boat to another country. So when they went into the boat broke by Cyprus. So they had to live in Cyprus, a British area, for 20 years. And then after 20 years, after we finally got the passports and stuff that we voted for, we've decided to come with the airplane to the UK.
Wow.
In back home, I was working in CINI. CINI is a Commission Electoral Independent National, and they organize election in back home. And the system of Africa now, the problem we have, the president, they like to stay more time in the power, long time. And for me, the population didn't like him, and the president stayed for 20 years in the power, and they like just to organize election. Policeman cannot vote in constitution, and from then they like us to give also the police and the military voting card to vote from their advantage when the vote will come in. The objective was to kill me, and someone he helped me, the friend of my father, and that one I left my country, I came here. That is the issue, the problem I had in Bangkok.
Upsetting because of the family's issue. I was not able to go to school all the time, and I was in like dark all the time, just thinking that if I were to go out of the house, people will kill me because I've been threatened from my family members that if you go out, if you do anything, we will just kill you.
My desire to stay here and seek asylum really was to protect myself and the children. Trying to find a way to sort yourself out, I found that very hard because at that time I was no recourse public funds. So it was difficult to find somebody who will take me in as somebody who is no recourse public funds.
Escaping from threats back home. So I had to leave everything behind, and the job job for the life. So I had to leave everyone behind, as well as everything I love.
At the end of the last century, the government announced that they would start dispersing asylum seekers. There was a lot of hysteria about asylum seekers at the time, and so this new policy was adopted to send asylum seekers out all over the country, all over England, Scotland, and Wales, and Swansea came up on the list of places. I'm not from Swansea, but I was living in Swansea then, and there was a lot of concern in Swansea, a bit of hysteria as well about how, who were all these people who are going to be coming from foreign countries, and some people felt very threatened, and so a support group was started. The meeting was actually attacked by some far-right hooligans, and
it's about making the city welcoming, so that the idea is for people who are new here, whether they're asylum seekers or any other kind of newcomer, they can go anywhere in the city and people will be friendly towards them, welcoming them, try to involve them in everything they're doing. The biggest thing which people don't know about asylum seekers and refugees is that they are ordinary people. They're just as likely to be keen on photography or rock climbing or to have got a PhD in some subject as anybody else.
I think the thing that most asylum seekers say to me about what they like about working here is that they can just be themselves when they're here. They're not like an asylum seeker. They're just whoever they are, and they're just somebody who can be really helpful to Oxfam, and in the same way that anybody else can be helpful to Oxfam. And I think there's lots of reasons why people get a lot out of it. I think another thing that people get out of working here is that it can be, when you arrive in a new city, you can feel very isolated, and so it's a really good way of getting out, making friends and getting new connections. And I think everything that I'm saying about asylum seekers is actually the same as for all our volunteers, which I think is a really important point to make. So asylum seekers get life experience, work experience, friends, unity, get to meet people, but then that's just the same for everybody else as well. So I might have, we might have an asylum seeker who's lonely, but there are also lots of people who've lived in Swansea all their lives who are lonely as well.
With the experience I have, as a woman, having gone through domestic violence, having gone through the asylum process, I'm going to put myself in their shoes and actually remove the emotion out of it and forge forward for them.
As we speak now on a Friday night, I can think, you will go there at St. James's Church in the Uplands and you will find about 100 and 200 people of all ages, men, women, kids, from all nationalities, asylum seekers and refugees, having a cup of tea, having some food, having a space for them to talk, to share their uncertainty about the future, to talk about what happened in the past. And then a group of 10, 15 volunteers, most of them local people, who are there just to help. And I need to mention, in that organization, there is
emerged out of our drop-in and what we were doing, and people people coming to the community, to our drop-ins and talking about what to do next, what new things to do. And I think it's been a brilliant initiative because
signed up to the City Sanctuary Pledge. So faith groups, businesses, public services, local authority is a
It's kind of become embedded. So if the mayor or the leader of the council or any of the local MPs is making a speech, I mean, as long as the topic is at all relevant, they're very likely to say, I'm going to be an organisation that uses volunteers. I actually haven't thought of the fact that asylum seekers could be not somebody you help, but somebody who volunteers for you.
Absolutely.
In some cases, they do both in the same organisation.
People were there and they said that, you know, we can help you. We will be supporting you. So they helped me to go to college. They helped me to, you know, start volunteering with communities. So that's how I improved my language. I improved everything, the communication with people, the understanding, and talking with the different organizations. That helped me a lot. The support which I had in Swansea, it was like, you know, phenomenal, because all the communities were very helpful. All the people I met in Swansea, the organization and the communities, they support us all the time. The City of Sanctuary, East, Red Cross, and Unity University, and Fusion, and Beautiful Museum, and Women's Group, they all were standing with me with each challenges which I passed and I go through with the different problems, but they were always there to help me. And I'm very proud that I am part of this Swansea organization, and I'm part of the Swansea community where people are there for me, and they are always helpful and supported me with each problems.
Mentally, it helped me quite a lot, because if I wasn't willing to find company within their friends, however, we would be so isolated if we didn't go out.
But when I came to Swansea, something was different. I don't know whether because now I had a bit of experience, or it's because there were more activities, there were more services than.
And he asked me about my case, my life, the things like that, and he knew very well my case like my lawyer. And he knows if I will not come in Oxfam, I will tell him. And the people know me everywhere in a different community. If I'm absent, maybe some things happen.
You know, it's upsetting and it's distressing to think that our friend's been picked up in the middle of the night and taken to a detention centre. But because of the support network that we've got, not just in Oxfam but through City of Sanctuary and asylum seeker drop-ins and different organisations, if we know somebody's been taken to detention, then we can sort of all get working on that and help each other to help out the person who's there.
Even my friend, some family, they ask me, you are not speaking good English. You came just last year. How did people support you? How did you make this connection with people? How did you know people? And you are black, there it's white, you come in this country, they accept you. Even in my country, some friend I have, they stay in Cardiff. They say, Cardiff is not like that. Why? In Swansea is not, they found just this boring place, it's not a good place, but how you found people you met? I say, just come Swansea, we know. It's difficult to explain. It's like magic. You know, the community is very, very important.
The next day, we were in the shop. Again, it's a shift that Otis would have been on. And Alice was working on that shift. He knows Otis well, and is also a fantastic anti-racist activist and organiser, and is very good at organising rallies, and one organised by the end of the day. And so, from that, we were able to build a really strong campaign. The way Oxfam work anywhere in the world is that we go into places and we talk to the local communities and we work with the local communities. And I think, although we're a shop, we should still reflect Oxfam's values in that way. So I think it's great that we're able to work with people like City of Sanctuary and the Asylum Seeker Support Group and the various drop-ins around Swansea to build that kind of network of people who want to help and support refugees. It's really important for us as Oxfam to do that kind of sharing and working together. It's also, from a purely cynical point of view, it's been really good for the shop because, for example, anytime we're low on volunteers, we just go along to the drop-in, get chatting to people, and by the end of the night we've got more people volunteering. So, it works both ways, and yeah, we support each other, hopefully.
It's a movement of refugees and asylum seekers with their supporters. It's not about us doing things for them.
And needs, like most people, you need to have something else that you do. So it was either, very, very self-destructive drinking, or even fulfillment out of it. I've met tons and tons of really interesting people, and I feel like I've made a bit of a difference, which is, feels good.
Swansea is a good host city, and people are very good at heart, because all the people I work with, my colleagues at SCBS, all very good, very accommodating, and very friendly. And even in the community.
Because I used to live in London and it's quite busy and not many people, there's support, but then you feel they're not free again, they're quite busy, they've got their jobs and stuff. But then when we moved here, and when I saw the people, they were the ones that told me, oh, there's this organization that helps, there's this place to go and stuff. So if they weren't here, I don't think I'm gonna be here today. I wouldn't even be a Worship Parliament member because I wouldn't have anyone call me.
From the city, Swansea is beautiful not because of its natural beauty, not because we have finest beaches in the country or beautiful outdoors. I found really kind, lovely people.
We would hope that we have a chance to start changing policy at a national level. Because the nature of City of Sanctuary is that within each town and city, right across the country, many more people are being involved and become supporters. So we hope that eventually will have an effect on the political situation, which is the biggest. If we make that contribution, we'll be really, really pleased, because that's so important to people.
There's people who'll tell you the story about the first day that they arrived, they get bussed here, and then they get put in a minibus and taken to Lyme Ice or something like that, a little house. And then the next morning, they walk out of that, they haven't a clue where they are. And this old guy, Mohammed, who's still with us, he likes telling this story. He walks from wherever Penn Land down to the centre of town, down to the sea.
I would like to say first, beautiful people with a big heart, people with decency, people with human compassion. I love the Algarve Peninsula, I like Three Cliff, I like the sea. But the sea and the Algarve Peninsula and the beaches by themselves couldn't bring the spirit of humanity that we all need. Of course, we are doubly lucky because we got a beautiful city in terms of its environment, but I think that more important than that, we have wonderful, human, compassionate people, decent people who make Swansea special. And I like to think I'm not the only person who says that.
Look, the people you did for me, I didn't give them anything, but just to help you. From what? Today I got it. What's their advantage? Nothing. What they benefit? Nothing. What they gave something, they ask me money? No. They take some benefit for me? Nothing. But they just want you to be safe.